watched over the years whenever I do see it on. And he was one of the better hosts of it. Okay, so you're here in Austin, Cap City Comedy Club the next 3 nights. Let's get back to where we were. Richard Hunter had a comment about, quote, the problem with the left. My issue is, I'm not into left and right. I don't like these labels. I don't like, I've got to be for this issue from the right and this issue from the left. I'm into common sense. I'm into history. I'm into freedom. I'm part of the freedom group.
Here was the point on my own radio show in 2008 when we covered the presidential election. I thought it was great to see so many young people get involved for the first time and all that sort of thing, and there were a lot of my listeners. But I'm somebody who's been politically active since I was 10 years old, so I felt like I had something to say to these people. And what I was trying to tell them was, great that you got involved, but the biggest mistake you're going to make right now, because you're new to the process, is to say, oh, great, my guy won, I'll see you in 4 years. Our work is done here. Au contraire, because this is the part where it gets really important. You don't have to fall in love with Obama or anybody else for that matter as a person. Understand that you're hiring them to do a job, and they're going to be exactly what you tell them to be or not be. Well, and if you don't stay involved, and if you don't tell them what you want, they're going to listen to somebody else's special interest. You made a great point about special interest. What it really is deciding whose special interest I can suffer more than someone else's.
And there's these big roving gangs of corporate special interests that are bigger than most governments.
Right.
And they're going to buy Republican Democrats. So how do you deal with them?
Well, ultimately, you need giant government. You don't even need big government. You need government that is only about the big things. Protecting you from a giant country that's going to attack you, large hurricanes, that's the kind of government I'm interested in. I don't need social architecture government. I don't need government telling me how to live on a day-to-day basis per se. But if a large corporation is putting a toxin in the food supply, I need a very large government.
But our government's run by eugenicists that are actually putting the toxins in the food supply.
Well, I wouldn't say everybody in the government's a eugenicist. I mean, I think that. Okay, I think. Folks,
have you seen Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Of course I have.
Blair, have another copy. Watch it again.
No, I'm going to take it. Yeah, he'll take it. Absolutely.
You want to see Maffa 21, Black Genocide?
No, that's okay. I've watched most of these, I'm sorry to say, for free on the internet. I know this is I know paranoia is a great dollar industry. It really is. Always has been.
No, wait a minute. I give my stuff out for free and promote it's free. I know. But we do have to fund ourselves.
No, I get it.
In fact, folks, he's attacking the funding. Buy the motion videos right now. We're building the new TV studio over there.
Buy a copy of Charmageddon and watch it before and after just so that you don't, hole up in a bunker. But
we're not holed up in a bunker. We're storming the Texas Capitol.
Well, I wouldn't say.
We're out in the open. We're taking America back.
You're in an unmarked building in an office park.
Well, no, that's because
you're expanding.
That's because
the amazing
that's
thing.
Because of fans. We have to get work done.
Understood. Right. Okay. And they would interrupt.
Yes.
Okay. I don't doubt it because they have all kinds of large loose leaf binders full of stuff that.
And also women.
I have a hand.
And I say no, but some of the crew has a problem.
Right. Oh yeah, that's all right. That explains the sales force here that I've seen. They look a little too busy to sell anything. No wonder you're handing stuff out for free. But here's the thing. I think that it's like anarchists with the pre-printed anarchy T-shirts that you see all the time. The irony therein, the constitutionalists who want to go pre-Constitution to Wild West kind of mentality, or even fiefdom kind of stuff. At a certain point, we decided, look, we got to all start getting together because upriver, somebody is dumping something into the water, and we got to be able to stop that to some degree. So we've got to become 2 towns, then a state, then multiple states, because our group future rests on everybody else. I think the biggest problem right now with sort of the anti-government movement is that it's this states' rights hyper-local, and everybody is just kind of going, well, whatever happens upstream is none of my business. And the problem is it affects you. It totally affects you.
Well, the Soviets had the ultimate government, and they were, at every study, much more toxic, just throwing reactors in lakes.
They didn't have the ultimate government.
They were good people?
No, they had a communist regime and on face that was actually a manufactured monarchy. Basically, they knocked the monarchy out of the way, and then the Communist Party acted.
Same thing, North Korea. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, but that's an issue with that country. We elect our leaders, or at least the perception has always been that we elect our leaders. You're talking about a time when they had almost no interest in electing them. They would basically kill whoever was in charge and replace him with somebody who was just like him. In England, United Kingdom pre-1707, when you had England as a series of kingdoms, basically the peasants would eventually go, you know what, I'm sick of that guy telling me what to do, and I'm sick of paying taxes to this guy, so we're all gonna storm the castle and throttle him. And that's what they would do. They'd find whoever the lord was, drag him out of the castle, string him up, chuck him into a river, and then not replace the social structure that he had created.
No, they did with Magna Carta and then the Parliament Act. You're wrong.
About that point.
Stay there. We got to go to break. We're coming back with both Richard Hunter and Hal Sparks. Very, very dangerous. Okay, we are back live, ladies and gentlemen, and Hal Sparks, Richard Hunter are our guests. If you go up to the Drudge Report today, one of the top linked stories, DHS video characterizes white Americans as most likely terrorists. And, I have the MIAC and Homeland Security reports that police sent me that were big national news 2 years ago. I've been to the urban warfare drills, and there are white people, there are black people, there are Hispanics that are role players. But they're saying, I'm an American, I have constitutional rights, you're not taking my farm. And I have this on video, the troops practice mowing them down. And I've gotten, in the last 3 years, a lot of these other documents where it says the #1 threat is white males, it's returning veterans, it's Ron Paul supporters, it's libertarians, it's people that want to end the Federal Reserve. And they're now putting these videos out, which I agree with what you said earlier, that it's meant to, sell black folks and other people to not notice that they're the ones really being targeted, and Arabs. So as you said, pattern interrupt, that's one layer. But the other layer is they're training police everywhere. And they're training even the Boy Scout Explorer clubs and the military to take on, quote, gun-owning white rednecks. They say that's the group that's going to attack the government because, look, McVeigh did it. And you'll say, well, look, he did. I've got total proof the government staged that event. So I'm beyond all that. My point is, just like Hitler used an unpopular groups of communists and Jews first to beta test everything he was doing, and the Germans were like, get him, then he flipped it around on everybody by the end. That's my point. What is your take on that?
Ultimately, the video that DHS is putting up, the reason I think they're now using white people is because the automatic assumption that anybody who's a threat is brown has led to security breaches, or the potential for security breaches, because they're automatically, their own pattern is, why would I look at a white guy? That's not who my enemy is. But then you have, let's say you have a Muslim extremist organization, an Al-Qaeda-ish group, for real. And
a real Easter bunny,
right? Exactly. Well, it's a
real Santa Claus,
right? Sorry, they know
a real Keebler elf.
They know it's not a real garden. They know it's not a real
toothberry.
Right? A toothberry. Toothberry. Yeah, he's one of the scariest creatures in childhood.
You haven't seen a toothberry?
No, it's horrible. Yeah, and the crunchy and yet no nutritional value. Entirely made of enamel and hanging. The tree is frightening.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah, right.
Some other mythical creatures.
Let's say
unicorns, leprechauns.
Right. Okay. So what I'm saying is, you're at one point saying there is no Al-Qaeda threat. This is a manufactured thing. There are no Muslims extremists coming with strap bombs to go on a U.S. Airways flight from Vegas to Idaho.
There may be some, but in other cases, it's confirmed the feds are getting mentally ill patsies on planes. Oh, they got Mutalib on the plane. That's admitted. Drooling. Drooling with no passport. U.S. government got him on.
Right. Here's the thing. If you have TSA and their habit is every time you test them, no matter how many times you tell them, there's these 9 people are actual threats. I don't mean manufactured. I mean genuine psychopaths who roam around. You've got somewhere in the order of 100 million airline passengers a year flying in the air. There's 1 in 78 people are legitimately psychotic.
But that's like saying somebody might rob your house, so we got to put armed guards in it. The world isn't safe.
No, it isn't, because your house isn't going to fall out of the sky and land on other people or kill other people who aren't there.
Yeah, the idea that the government must guarantee our safety is the absolute road to bondage.
Okay, but the idea that
give me an air company with no security, and I'll guarantee you they're going to make so much money. Look, I want to accept the danger.
Okay, great.
I want it. I want freedom. Right. 1776, not a nanny state.
Right, but then the plane lands on somebody. It's not a house.
It's all communal. Now we have socialist health care, so the government's going to tell you what you can eat, because we're now all tied up in your health. Oh, the plane might fall on somebody, so we got to have a proctology exam. A 6-year-old girl.
Right.
The government are terrorists. Break your conditioning.
And you're the one with the conditioning. You're the one repeating the same marker. Look, here's the thing.
They're the ones staging the terror.
Gotcha. Okay, so
they're the ones staging the terror.
As a human being,
they're the ones staging the terror.
I, as the person who actually wants a valuable society around me. Okay, I don't give a shit about.
Sorry, do it again. We can't do it one more time.
I understand. Third time and I'm out. I can't. I get it. All right.
You can't debate me with actual intellectual words.
I can't debate you when you're not allowing me to talk.
No, I agree. That's true. Go ahead.
Don't be good.
I'm winning.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm winning.
No, you're not. He's
getting mad. He's getting mad. You can get loud too. Go ahead.
No, it's your show. You'll always have. You have this silver mic. Look at this. They could turn this thing off at any moment.
That's actually a better mic. The problem is I don't want it in front of me.
It wasn't because I swore. This is a conspiracy. Those people at home who heard those missing spots, it was because I said something.
This is not just XM.
No, I know.
Go ahead.
Right.
I can't do it.
You can. Okay. Here's the thing. Do you?
I was mainly joking around. You look genuinely angry.
Do you believe in any governmental protections, police, fire, that kind of stuff? Do you? Or is it all volunteer?
I do believe.
Is it all volunteer?
You're doing that lawyer tactic.
We'll deputize.
You're not letting me answer, and you're continuing with your debate. I believe in constitutionally limited government. And obviously we've got too much government right now.
Okay, do you believe?
Here's the deal: the government's adding jobs, the private sector's laying them off. We're losing the private sector.
Do you believe
we're losing the private sector?
No, we're not. Do you believe in?
We're not losing the private sector.
Do you believe in constitutionally limited corporations? The corporations are licensed by a government.
Yes. I do believe that corporations, especially when they're multinational and pay no taxes, are not alive and are not people. I think it's okay if somebody wants to incorporate for their particular local small project, but I am against mega corporations.
Okay, great. At what point does a small government able to compete with a mega corporation? Because you're going to have an either or ultimately.
If you cut the size of government, the mega corporations aren't going to be able to siphon the wealth off. Mega corporations get their profit from government.
No, they don't. They roll into local areas and suck all the resources out. This is a problem with a resource-based economy. That's where mega corporations get their stuff. It's not from inventing or creating appliances or something that you have to actually compete with other people. It's oil, it's sugar, it's cocoa, it's orange juice, and these people roll in.
Actually, more and more the corporations make their profit off of government contracts. But listen, I agree with you on the other issue. Let's just go back and be serious.
You're drinking your milkshake and you let them.
Let's go back and be serious. Let's go back here, though. Let's talk about.
You're more afraid of the government than you're afraid of somebody like BP sucking the water, not the oil.
I said BP should go to prison.
Right now, T. Boone Pickens is sucking the water from under Texas. While trying to get cities to pass laws to shut down their water supplies, so he makes more to create artificial scarcity. Governments don't have the fight back.
Richard Hunter, comments?
Yes. Can I interject a thought here? A general feeling that I have.
You're not getting my guns.
A general feeling.
I don't want your guns. Where do you get the idea that I want your guns?
Joke, man.
A general feeling that
you're actually scared I want your guns. So the joke is based in your actual fear base.
Well, I mean, the average Democrat does want my guns.
No, I don't.
Obama's for gun bans.
No, he isn't.
Richard Hunter!
You guys tell me what's wrong with this idea. I have a general feeling that
you want a fist fight, pal?
The only people I'm not going to allow you to fist fight. The only people that I completely understand inherent distrust of government and corrupt elected officials. The only people that I may distrust more are for-profit, privately owned CEOs because there is more money to be made in the private sector. What about that?
Yeah, I think Endgame is a great product.
Is that fair?
Made by a private CEO of a local corporation. And printed on Chinese plastic, and distributed by a machine that's actually made with Chinese components in a warehouse.
What about your DVD that you plugged out of the gates on Amazon?
Oh, yeah, but I don't have any problem with that part of it. I actually speak Chinese and travel over there. So,
this is liberal, dirty tricks. Folks, I'm not supposed to be able to sell books and videos to get my message out now.
No, I'm for it.
Can I ask you, though, about...
He took it all personal.
Can I ask you about...
Are you wearing women's underwear?
About what you think.
All right, go ahead.
Only 1 in 3 guys is allowed to, so I wouldn't.
Exactly.
Can I ask you what you think about what I said? Because I completely understand distrust of government. I'm just saying that I probably fear
government is a tool of the corporations.
Right, but absolutely.
So it's a distrust of corporations is your issue then.
But I fear if we eliminate the middleman.
You think you're in here with Ronald Reagan in this interview? You're not.
No, I fear if we eliminate the middleman, though, I fear what's behind the curtain even more, which is the for-profit CEO.
Oh no. They have government power. They've gotten the government to vote, and Here's an example. They take your roads over, existing ones, put tolls on it you pay for, and then get a government bailout, which we learned that Centra of Spain does everywhere. It's a scam.
Which is a states' rights act. That's local states' rights. That's Texas handing over their, basically a federally created, by the way, federal tax dollars building the federal highway system, and then Texas decides, you know what, we're going to hand over our toll roads and our major throughways that were made.
That's right. And Bush had to sign an executive order to block the federal law to let Perry do it.
Right.